Oh, there we are.
What do you call it? Take two. Good Saturday morning. Glad to have you with us. Another rain shower overnight in the area. 2 nights in a row that I don't even remember mentioning rain, but 2 nights in a row that we have seen just a sprinkling of rain. And Mike, Brett's not as excited as Mike and I are, but the high today is 69. It won't even reach 70, they say.
Love it.
Outside our studios here in Maiden. The high of 69. And the next week looks really good, too. We're going to go back up to maybe 72, 74, but then
I can deal with that.
Yeah, right back down. And at one time I saw rain, a possibility on Friday night for next Friday night's football, but now it says sunny and 75. So
that's one good thing we've had is luck with the weather. As far as so far,
Mike, don't give it the kiss of death over there.
Yeah, I always do. I'm just saying so far.
Yeah, we haven't had to move any varsity games up to Thursday yet, which is always
a
blessing, always a blessing. I haven't looked. I looked a couple days ago, Mike, and I know your big game in college football is today.
Well, you can see what I'm wearing today. Right?
But, okay, what was last year's score?
No, we don't want to talk about last year. We're talking about today's game.
I heard you and David Potter last night chatting about 49-0 last year, which is very odd.
Yeah, I like to see him because he's an OU grad. He's been there. He's been to 3 OU Texas games.
Yeah, that's most time those games are in the Texas heat there in Dallas. But this year we noticed that it's not supposed to get out of the 70s, right? The forecast even.
I know it's usually in the low 90s.
Yep.
Heavy humidity, but today it's supposed to be pleasant.
But what I was going to get at, Mike, just looking at the headlines, that is the top game of the day. The next thing you see is the Dodgers, a picture of the Dodgers on the ESPN headlines. With Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts shaking hands after one of them has just homered, I'm sure. And baseball is big today. I mean, of course, but what I was getting at, let me go with the college football first. It's not a glamour day on the schedule.
No,
not from noon till midnight like it has been.
No,
but just right off the top of my head, it seems like there's nothing even close to the Texas-Oklahoma game today.
I'd like to be SEC Commissioner Greg Shanky. I heard on the way up. He's going to OU Texas, and he's going over to College Station to catch Texas A&M in Alabama.
And that's a pretty good matchup, too. And you got the the ball coach against the former assistant. Maybe I shouldn't refer to Saban as the ball coach. We know that was set aside for Spurrier. That's
reserved for Spurrier. I'm sorry.
But I'm sorry, though. They're all ball coaches.
Yeah, but, old ball coach.
I guess one thing, I think LSU at Missouri could be a good matchup.
That could be. The Show Me State team is trying to show them that they can play.
And how good is Maryland?
Yeah, are they undefeated too?
I think they are. Are they undefeated, Brett? The only reason I think they may not be is they don't have a number by their name. They're not
undefeated.
Today they go into the horseshoe.
Yeah, and Missouri's undefeated.
Missouri is undefeated.
How about Kentucky? Are they undefeated?
They are undefeated, and they play a big one today in Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia.
That one, I've watched Kentucky on TV a little bit. I'm going to give them the kiss of death, but I won't be surprised if they're in that game.
I'd love
Mark
to see
Stoops has done a tremendous job.
I want somebody to upseat
with the Kentucky program.
I want somebody to beat Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a Georgia hater. I'm not a disliker of Georgia by no means. But 1934, is that right? You know what I'm getting at? Is that the last time a team three-peated in college football?
Yeah,
it's been a long time.
Oh yeah,
I just assume that streak just keep going. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I mean, I would just.
Me too.
And
some streaks should never be broken, like undefeated Miami Dolphins of 72.
Yeah.
17-0.
Yeah, Patriots came so close to.
Doesn't matter. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. I want that streak to remain intact. Don't want anybody to three-peat. That's college football champ.
Yeah. How about the Seattle Seahawks? What was it? 118 wins. Is that how many they had? And Do you know, Brad? I'm thinking off. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. 118
I don't even
wins.
know what you're talking about yet.
I said Seahawks, didn't I? I meant Mariners.
Mariners.
Oh.
yeah.
I meant Mariners.
I thought
when
maybe
you
the
said that,
Seahawks won that many games in like a
116 straight.
8-year span or something. I didn't know where that was going.
Yeah, I think it was the Mariners.
The Mariners have
116, 118.
most wins in a
How about
season.
on the other end this season? Arizona Diamondbacks, 84 regular season wins, and they're in the NLCS.
In the North Carolina
In
finals.
the North Carolina.
They're in the
North Carolina
NLDS.
finals.
Don't give them the championship series yet.
No, that's right.
Yeah. And they take on
The Dodgers.
the Dodgers. Okay, we'll get into those in a few minutes too, just to talk about the
But to
matchups.
show it's been a wacky
Get
year
your
in,
picks.
in baseball.
Yeah, I thought the wackiest thing for me was every series was 2-0
I know.
in the wild card round. Every series was 2-0, and not necessarily who you thought would win. I mean, like Arizona. That was a little surprise to me. And Milwaukee was so good all year long.
Mm-hmm.
And it just goes to show you it's a different animal when you get to the next
And
round.
look at the splendid season the Braves have had. That could go down the tube.
It could. I mean, the Phillies looked pretty hot. Got a couple messages last night saying, scared of the Phillies, worried about the Phillies. And
They play with a lot of gusto.
And wasn't it Philly that took them out last year?
Yeah.
It was.
And how many did that go? Do you remember, Brett? You're the guru of
seems like
memory.
they beat them 3-1.
3-1.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a 3 out of 5, right?
Yeah.
That we're heading into
Yeah.
right now, and then it's 4 out of 7 in both championship series
Right.
in baseball. But
Did you know the losers in the wild card round combined to scored 9 runs in 8 games?
Wow.
And
God.
Milwaukee.
You know what I thought you were going to say on the second day? But you went on
Milwaukee
both
scored
days.
5. Milwaukee scored 5 of those 9. Tampa scored 1 run in 2 games. Toronto scored 1 run in 2 games.
Yeah, and Toronto's like one of the top offenses.
Yeah, and Miami scored 2
baseball.
runs.
Yeah. Miami. It doesn't surprise me much about Miami for the reason they were streaky all year. It seemed like they would win 6 in a row and then turn around and lose 6 in a row.
Yeah.
And it was that kind of season for them. So they were just on the bad streak when the playoffs rolled around. But do you guys think going into today's games, you got 4 teams that have not played in a while, haven't played since Sunday, and then you've got 4 teams that have continued to play. Didn't get to play but 2 games, but they played 2. Which one would you rather be going in? Somebody that's got more rest or somebody that has kept playing and kept winning?
I think I'd rather be the team that kept playing, kept winning.
The only reason I want to be the other, I guess, is because they're home field advantage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
They're going to get the home field advantage. And how does that work? 2-2-1?
I think so.
But other than that, yeah, I think just keeping your routine and playing games and actually going out there and winning those games, and those games you're winning those games under pressure.
I guess the only other thing I could think is you don't have your best starter, probably not available for game 1.
Yeah,
Your ace might only
Yeah.
get to pitch 1 game in the
that's true.
5-game series.
Most likely will, because these games finished up on Wednesday or Thursday.
Wednesday.
Finished up
Yeah.
on Wednesday. So if you used your starter,
And Arizona's ace,
your ace, right?
Arizona's ace pitched on Wednesday. He wasn't ready on Tuesday.
I could see a scenario where that starter could pitch. The ace could pitch 2 games in this one, since it was just 2 quick games and out of the way. They had another day off, and you said the ace would have pitched on Wednesday. No, Tuesday.
For Arizona, the ace pitched on Wednesday.
Did it because
Yeah.
of the regular season
Yeah.
way it ended? Yeah. Yeah, that is one way to look at it. But, which of these teams that has
Now, Texas had, they have Scherzer, and he was on the injured list. I don't know if he's going to be back for this series or not. I hadn't heard.
Mm.
But
I do
that could
remember
be
him going out.
that could be a big boost if they get him back.
If I read these to you, Texas, Baltimore, Minnesota, Houston, Philly, Atlanta, Arizona, and the Dodgers, which first-round bye team has the least let's say it the other way, is most likely to be upset? Baltimore, Houston, Atlanta, or L.A.? Which one would you say is most likely to be upset? Because I think it's kind of hard to decide because the hottest team on the left side right now is the Phillies probably. But the hottest team all season has been the Braves.
Yeah, I would say the Texas-Baltimore series just
Really?
just because I think Texas is the best out of the four
Okay.
teams.
They've also had
that
playoff
won.
experience.
Yeah.
The team has had playoff experience recently too, right?
Texas?
No.
I don't know.
No?
I don't think
Have they
so.
not?
No.
Okay. I thought they were in it a year or two ago.
No,
Or has it been
they-
since they lost back-to-back World Series?
I don't know if they've been
Are
back
they-
since then.
Oh,
They, yeah.
Okay.
If,
They've
they,
been
if they've
mediocre.
been back since then, they lost in their first round. They hadn't won a series since then. I don't think. But
Which team you think it's most important for?
but I think the Phillies might be the best. They could be better than Texas. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it's just that they're playing the Braves, and I don't think the Braves are going to lose to the Phillies this year.
No.
Well, yeah, I think that's more incentive for them that they were beaten out last year. Which one of the home teams do you think it is most important for them to win Game 1? Probably Atlanta, wouldn't you?
I would say Baltimore.
Really?
Just
One
because
of those
they don't
two.
have the experience. The Braves, Dodgers, and Astros all have a lot of experience, and they won't get too down about losing Game 1 if it happens.
Doesn't it always work out where you lose a star player and you're playing against him? And I'm thinking about the shortstop for Minnesota.
Yeah,
Correa. And he's going to be playing against the team he was with for, 5-6 years
Yeah.
maybe, down in Houston. Brett, take out the Dodgers and Arizona. Which one are you most looking forward to following?
Well, probably Phillies and Braves.
Mike?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Because of what the Phillies did last year.
I would either
To the
say that
Braves.
one or Texas, Baltimore, and it's just the fact it's good to see the Orioles in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's really good to see them in the playoffs.
If the Dodgers don't win it, I would like to see Baltimore win it all,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think it's very likely that Baltimore wins
If you
it
don't
all.
think that's very likely, what's the likelihood of a World Series / Super Bowl sweep for Baltimore? What's the likelihood of that?
Very low.
Yeah.
I mean, I picked the Ravens to win it all.
Less than 10%, I would think.
Yeah, yep. And it could be down to 0 in about 10 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
or less if there are sweeps. If you were interested in this today, in watching baseball, and I will be watching some of the playoff baseball. My remote will be burning my hand today. It'll be so hot from the use. But Baltimore is at home to take on the Rangers at 1 o'clock. Now here's what you need to know: FS1. Not Fox Sports main channel. Guess what? They've got college football lined up for you today.
Mm-hmm.
So it's on FS1. Also at 4:45, FS1 has the Minnesota Twins at Houston, Game 1. Then tonight, wouldn't you know, TBS is taking care of the Braves. At 6 o'clock, the Atlanta Braves host the Philadelphia Phillies on TBS. And in the nightcap, Brett, I apologize early. You're going to be up till 12:30,
Yep.
most likely.
No
Late
problem.
night.
No
for,
problem, he
Late
said.
night for Brett.
Yep. The Dodgers are at home, taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks
Hey, that's an hour earlier than normal.
at
so.
9:20. What lead was it take for you just to say, okay, I'm good, we're good? Or are you watching it all if it's 12-0?
If it's 12-0, I won't try to go to sleep, but I'll relax a little bit. And if I fall asleep, then
Well, if it's 12-0 Diamondbacks, the D-backs.
in that case, I probably would try to go to sleep.
but wouldn't be able to.
Wouldn't be able
Find a
to.
West Coast football game and
Everybody gets underway today, but then the schedule's cut in half just for
Yeah, it's
television.
weird.
for
Only two
sure.
games
Well,
tomorrow.
it's a big NFL
Oh,
day.
yeah, that's the problem.
On the Sunday's NFL day, and then you got the Game 2, Rangers Baltimore at 4 o'clock, and then 8 o'clock Minnesota Houston. Then on Monday, the other two, the National League catches up when the Phillies play the Braves at 6 o'clock in the evening, and Arizona and the Dodgers at 9:07
that'll
at
be the
night.
tough one for
That's
me.
the killer for Brett
Monday
right there.
night.
A Monday night back at work, and got to get up early on Tuesday, and for America as well, except for those living on the West Coast who get the early.
I know a weekend like this
Dodger
just
start.
overwhelms me. I mean, it's coming at you from so many directions.
Yeah.
What to watch and what to keep up with.
And that might be why it's okay that the college schedule is not great
yeah.
today. I mean,
not that many marquee
Well,
games.
my only problem is Notre Dame's game is going to overlap with the Dodgers. I wish Notre Dame had the 3:30.
Who do they have today?
Louisville.
Oh,
At
Undefeated Louisville.
Undefeated Louisville.
Undefeated Louisville.
Resurrected by Jeff Brom.
Yeah, Notre Dame's in a span of playing 4 straight unbeaten teams right now.
Yeah.
Assuming Southern Cal wins today and will be unbeaten when Notre Dame plays them next week. And they play Arizona today, so
They
I would be
should.
shocked if
Yeah.
Southern Cal lost that
A
one.
lot of
Although
people
no
would.
lead is safe with USC's defense.
Okay, so what do you since you mentioned USC, we probably shouldn't go any further without mentioning that the quarterback Caleb Williams has said there's only 5 teams in the NFL he'll play for.
Yeah.
Now, you think right off the bat, well, he can't control that. There's a draft, but you know
I
what?
heard
Eli
y'all.
Manning and who's the other one that I mentioned? John Elway.
Yeah.
They got what they wanted by doing that.
I heard y'all talking about that last night, and I wondered if that was his exact quote or if this is something taken out of context and
Well, is he for sure going to
it's
leave
not
after
what
his
not
junior
what he
year?
meant.
Enter the draft
I
after
don't
his
know.
junior year?
I don't know because
I
Jeff
could
Mason let us know last night that the first few years he'll take a pay cut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
because of what
rookie
he's,
salary.
what he's making
Yeah.
at Southern Cal.
He will take a pay cut. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it depends on how this year goes.
Yeah.
If you are projected by everyone to be the number 1, though, I would think you got to come out then.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, what if you do decide to play another year? The quicker you come out, the quicker you get to the big money
That's right.
in the NFL. You know,
Yeah, he almost has
At
to.
some point, you're going to start low and get to the big money. So the earlier you come out, the earlier you are when that happens.
And he can sign deals with doing commercials
Sure.
and stuff right away, and he can
Yeah,
make
because he's not bad on those Heisman
yeah.
commercials.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah, he's already got.
Yep.
He's already doing commercials.
Yeah.
But he'll have time to do more.
he will have
if he's
time
in
to
the
do
NFL.
more.
But I just thought that was if he really said that he'll only play for
Yeah.
these 5 teams.
And you know what? It might have been a thing like you said. Somebody said, what would be some of your favorites you'd like to go to? And he
Yeah.
might have just named those 5, and then they say, he's not going to play unless it's for one of these 5. I know it was the Raiders, the Cowboys. Do you remember who else? It
49ers.
Yeah, the 49ers, I think,
That
were
was
on the
one.
list. Let's see. I got it right here.
No teams
Thanks to
in the
Jeff.
East, right?
There's one on there that's do the Raiders surprise you a little bit? I'd say number 1, no.
Not really, because
Um,
that's still
Vegas.
Historic franchise, and they're
Yeah.
in Las Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah.
So the nightlife would be great. But Minnesota Vikings was the 5th one.
That.
that's probably because they have Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, but you're probably right. It's
Yeah.
Cowboys, Raiders, Niners, Giants. That's just because of the Big Apple.
New York.
Mm.
It
Yeah.
can't be because of the way they're performing.
Not at all.
And the
But why,
Vikings.
why wouldn't you put the Jets in there? I mean,
Yeah, they're in the
what's,
Big Apple.
what's the difference?
Is every team here that he's mentioned in need of a quarterback or not? We'll start with Dallas.
Well, no.
I don't
San
think so
Francisco
either.
is not.
San
No,
Francisco
Brock
is not.
Purdy's showing.
Now,
But there's
Caleb
still
Williams
a lot of
could
people
be
say
better.
he's average.
Caleb Williams could be better than Brock Purdy, but they don't need a quarterback, and there's no way they get Caleb Williams.
But I will say this, and I hate to say it at this point, the Giants do.
Yeah,
yeah.
The Giants do.
As
the
much
Vikings.
as I love Daniel Jones and to pull for him throughout his career because he's a dookie,
It's time.
it
Time
may
to pull
be
the plug.
time.
The Vikings, I would say, even if Kirk Cousins plays lights out, it's time to get a quarterback. It's time to look at the future.
You got to
know?
look at the future.
Because how old is Kirk Cousins now? Was
Is
it 38?
33, 34?
Oh, is it just 33?
yeah, he's
I don't
definitely
think he's
definitely
that
not
old.
38.
Okay.
No, no,
Okay.
no.
And then the other one
You
was
like
the
that?
Raiders, and Jimmy Garoppolo is just part-time
Yeah.
in Vegas. He only plays part-time, if you know what I'm getting at there.
Oh,
He's
yeah. Injuries.
oft injured.
Well, what about Dallas?
Garoppolo. Well, I asked you that one first.
If they
I
had the
said-
chance to
I
get
said
him,
that.
I mean, I wouldn't say Dallas needs a quarterback,
No.
but if there's a way they can get Caleb Williams, but you can't trade a bunch of number 1 picks
No.
just to,
Well, what you have to do
go
is
up and get
what
Caleb
you have
Williams.
to do is trade Dak
And a couple
and a
picks.
number one.
Yeah.
You know, would you trade, knowing Caleb Williams is on the board? Would you trade to get Dak, who has what left? 6 years maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and a number one pick? Because most time you're getting the number one picks to take a quarterback.
Yeah.
But what's
To do something wrong by taking a quarterback.
what's weird is who it's going to be. I mean, is it the Panthers? You think they're ready for a new quarterback
Well, I'll tell you
after this
this.
year?
Whoa, they just
will-
got a new quarterback.
With what all they need, they will trade. You know.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
need to
They'll trade.
They have too many
stockpile.
other needs.
picks.
How good's that DJ Moore trade looking?
Not good.
Well, what if it's the Bears?
He
Would
looked
you
like-
move on from Justin Fields
Not
at the end
after
of
the
this
last 2
year
games.
and take Caleb Williams?
Not after the last 2 games, which leads me to the first trivia question of the morning. Did you know that Justin Fields has thrown 4 touchdowns in back-to-back games?
Hmm.
Name me the other Chicago Bears that's done.
In their
6.
history.
No, this year.
Kyle Orton.
Negative.
Rex Grossman.
Negative. I'm gonna go ahead and be.
I would
I'm
guess
just
it's
going-
way back.
I'm a, you know, okay, yeah, go ahead. My first thought, I said somebody like, didn't Sid Luckman play for?
I think it was
Was it,
Sid
you know,
Luckman.
Because it seems like the
I thought it was
obvious
100 years ago.
The obvious answer would have been Jay Cutler.
Bingo,
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
bingo. But a lot of people forgot about Jay Cutler.
I
Well, he's
know.
the best quarterback they've had in the last
He is.
20,
Yeah,
25
I thought
years,
a very
30
underrated
years. I
quarterback.
mean, I thought
in
he's
the
probably
NFL.
better than Jim McMahon. He just
Yeah.
didn't
Oh,
have the
yeah.
team that
Oh, yeah.
Jim McMahon had.
Didn't have-
McMahon just had a great team.
He was asked to
around him.
do more than McMahon.
Yeah. And they had Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey. They were pretty good. Matt Forte, they had a good offense.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yep.
right.
Honestly, I just kind of skipped over Jay Cutler and thinking, they did put up some points.
How many
when
times
he was
did they
there.
go to the playoffs with Jay Cutler? I know they went once, didn't they? Or
Yeah,
twice?
because I remember the military guy singing the national anthem at Soldier Field, and it's one of
Mm-hmm.
my favorites. When they,
Well, you remember the game they were playing Green Bay, I think, and Cutler, he something happened and he didn't go back out,
Oh yeah.
and a lot of people questioned
Why
his,
he didn't go back out.
his heart,
His
basically.
heart, yeah.
If
yeah,
he was,
he had bad body
he was all
language.
in.
That was his biggest problem. He
Yeah.
had bad body language on the sideline. He had like Ryan Leaf body language
Yeah.
or somebody like that on the sideline. That
He
didn't
was
help
not
him.
a raw guy
No.
on the sideline.
No,
that's
but he
for
could flat
sure.
throw the football, and
Yeah.
he was pretty good at what he did. But yes, he was the last one and the only one, as far as I know, the only one to throw 4 touchdowns. Don't get it confused with throwing 4 touchdowns. We're talking about back to back,
Yeah.
doing it back to back weeks.
yeah, and they let that game against Denver just slip away. They should.
They were better
They
than
should have
Denver.
never lost
Yes.
that one.
What's the biggest bust? Do you think is Denver the biggest bust in the NFL, given the fact that Sean Payton is coaching them?
Wonder what Nathaniel Hackett's thinking.
That's who Caleb Williams needs to add to his list. Is Denver?
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
go play there with Sean Payton, and
yeah.
I mean that's a good franchise.
But if Peyton is so good, and it seems like why haven't they won a game?
Yeah, I know.
And-
Well, they have won one.
Well, they got the worst
Okay, they won
defense in
one.
football.
Okay, and then
And how can you turn that around in just 1 year?
why does Russell Wilson not look better like back in his heyday?
Because
Why?
maybe he's over the hill.
Has age caught up?
Yep.
Is it more that than it was? I mean,
Maybe it was
because
just
he left the
Pete-
perfect spot
Pete
for him.
Carroll's system.
But he left that. But he lit it up under Pete Carroll's system.
I know that was the perfect spot for him.
Yeah, some things are just unexplainable, I guess. When's the last time you saw, or have we ever seen somebody that we thought was a Hall of Famer maybe work themselves out of being,
Out of the Hall of Fame.
in their at the end of their career? I mean, I can't think of anybody that I remember that happening to. Real quick, let's go through what happened so far this week in college football. I wish somebody would have told me that there was Wednesday night college football. I missed that. Not that I would have watched a lot, but I would have checked on it. It was Jacksonville State over Middle Tennessee, 45-30. New Mexico State over Florida International, 34-17. Those were Wednesday games. Then on Thursday, Sam Houston fell to Liberty 21-16 in that one. and Western Kentucky over Louisiana Tech, 35-28.
Liberty's 5-0.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Even without Hugh Freeze, right? He has just been gone 1 year, right? Or this is the first year of his exit. Then last night, and I didn't, when I got home, I'm guessing both these games were completed, and that's why I couldn't find them anywhere. But Oklahoma State beat Kansas State 29-21. Hadn't Oklahoma State been struggling?
Yeah, that's a surprise.
It is. It is a surprise.
It really is.
That game ended when we were pulling out of the parking lot here last night.
Okay.
Nebraska, Illinois was still in progress when we pulled in.
And Nebraska gets a football win. Of course, it was over the Illini.
Yeah.
20-7 last night as Nebraska. What are they now on the season? Maybe 3-3?
2-3.
2-3?
2-3.
It's just their second win.
Beat Minnesota. No, they lost to Minnesota. They beat Northern Illinois.
Yeah.
Oh, they are 3-3. That just doesn't have it updated on here.
Doesn't have last night's win.
Yeah.
So who's the other win? Northern
Illinois, Louisiana Tech,
Okay.
and Illinois. Losses to Minnesota, Colorado, and Michigan.
Yep. The three Power Fives are 0-3.
Oklahoma State's 3-2. Everybody giving up on them after they lost to South Alabama, but put together. Well, I don't know. They're 1-2. 1-1 in the Big 12.
What's the head coach there?
Gundy.
Gundy.
Yeah.
How long?
16th anniversary of his famous.
I was going to say it's got to be 20 years.
So the 16th anniversary of that, his outrage over "I'm a man."
I'm a man.
I'm 40.
Pick on me.
I would guess that was in his first couple years.
Yeah. I mean,
so he's probably been there about 20 years.
My question was, is he the longest tenured coach in that conference?
Oh, absolutely.
It'd have to be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he is.
I mean,
of course. One of the longest tenured in college football.
Yeah, I would think so. Okay, so wonder who's above that. I mean, can anybody pop in your mind that would be?
Unless Saban's only had about 12 years at Bama. 15?
Probably. He's moved around. I mean, he didn't just. Yeah, that was not his first head coaching job, so it's going to be hard for him to
the way they move around.
Pass somebody.
Gundy might be the most longest tenured coach in major college football.
Yeah, head coach as far as that goes, a head coach. Yeah, I can't think.
Can't either.
Yeah, obviously. But that it's pretty impressive. Now, what's their biggest win since he's been there? What's the biggest postseason game they won?
They beat Notre Dame a couple years ago in a bowl game. Yeah.
Yeah. Would that be considered it, or would it be considered upsetting maybe Oklahoma when Oklahoma was in the top 5 or something?
Yeah. Well, I thought you said postseason.
Yeah, I did.
Win, huh?
I did.
Yeah, I mean they probably have wins over Oklahoma and Texas that.
Yes,
would be their biggest wins, but
well, they generally average 9-10 wins a year under Gundy.
Yeah,
and pretty successful.
I'm gonna tell you, they'll never lack for money there with the T. Boone Pickens money.
Well, that's true.
And the stadium, the facilities are all extraordinarily nice. I mean, they're like a cut above most, and aren't they still pouring it in, still building new training facilities and stuff like that, football complexes. The money. And T. Boone passed away, right? Maybe 4 or 5 years ago, but the money lives on.
Mike Gundy has been there since 2005.
Oh, okay, 7.
He is tied with Kyle Whittingham of Utah for second longest tenured head coach.
19 seasons.
There's one that's been at his school since '99.
Tied with who? Say it one more time.
Kyle Whittingham of Utah. There's one that's been at a school since '99.
Let me guess. Air Force.
No. Power 5.
Power 5.
Oh my.
Boy.
Oh my. That put us on. Do we know him real well?
Give me a hint.
Because my first thought was Dave Duran.
No, I can't.
It seems like he's been there.
He's been here since 1935.
Yeah, but 8-4 every year.
Now I remember.
How about Iowa?
The guy, that's it.
Oh yeah,
Kirk Ferentz.
Yeah,
or however you say it.
Hey, how about the OC Brian Ferentz? You think he's going to battle the 325? Is he going to get? He's got to score 325 points to keep his job.
What?
That's right. That's the bar.
In a game?
No, for the season.
Oh,
He must have been coaching
He better
Pender,
call. He better
Pender
call.
last night.
Yeah, he better call in Coach Tom Eanes. Help with that
Yeah,
offense.
yeah.
And you'll see what we're talking about in a little bit when we get through the high school.
He's under he's behind the 8 ball right now on that goal.
It's time for the first time out. Mike has actually Brett has already got a sports trivia question. I got some music lyrics here for you. Don't shout it out. Just save it for after the break if you know, because I'm going to start off with the easiest one this morning. I'm going to start off with the easiest one. My music lyrics this morning. I'm only going to give you 2 words though. You ready? And then we're going to take a break.
Yep.
Father McKenzie. Back in a moment.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Dr. John Cloninger III is celebrating 25 years of practice here in Lincolnton. Dr. Cloninger's pedigree originates from his father, mother, and uncle and continues with his brother and cousin. The name is an icon in the field of dentistry. Dr. Cloninger has dedicated himself to his patients and community and continues to lead by example. He has heard his whole life, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. He wants to sustain the family name and proceed by offering the best reasonable treatment possible. Dr. John Cloninger III, 904 Doncha Drive in Lincolnton. Call 704-735-0765.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit MooneyInsurance.com.
How to please the whole crew on game day? How about a 40-piece chicken McNuggets from McDonald's? Epically crispy, so juicy, so tender, and all the dipping sauces. Right now, 40 chicken McNuggets made with all white meat are yours for only $10.99. Well, yours and whoever you're watching the game with. My advice? Double down on your defense because 40 chicken McNuggets disappear surprisingly fast. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Century Drug in Boger City is the first pharmacy in the area to offer peace of mind for you, your caregivers, and for your family with a convenient poly pouch, strip pouch system, just like the one you've seen on TV. No more sorting through and keeping up with your multiple bottles of medication. No more filling daily reminder boxes. No more calling in meds and worrying about refills. You'll receive all your medications once a month in a box that dispenses a convenient, easy-to-open strip pouch that is perfectly labeled for breakfast, lunch, bedtime, etc. Century will be the link between you and your doctor to assure you that your medication profile is up to date and refillable. In other words, Century Drug will do all the work. You just take your medications and be healthy and happy. Call or come by for a visit today. 704-735-2551. Century Drug, East Main Street in Lincolnton.
Tim Johnson here from WLON. Folks, if you are looking to buy a new metal building, let me tell you the place to go. Unrivaled Metal Buildings in Lincolnton. With over 20 years' experience, they specialize in metal carports, garages, RV covers, storage sheds, and more. They service over 40 states. They offer bank financing and a credit-free rent-to-own program. All of their units are engineer certified to meet local wind and snow requirements. Commercial sizes are available as well. Address is 2541 East Main Street, Lincoln, or call 844-848-8676. Also, check their website out at unrivalledmetalbuildings.com.
And welcome back to Sports Talk. David Keever, Mike Powell, Brett Keever, who were with you on a Saturday morning. And I got tickled because people are answering my trivia question, or my lyrics, Father McKenzie. But the funny part is I got to read these because spell check on phones is so great.
Right.
The song is Eleanor Rugby.
Rugby.
And then,
Hey,
of course,
hey.
that's Roger getting it right because he corrected himself to Rigby.
Eleanor
But I
Rugby.
know that's what happens because I do it all the time.
Yeah, right.
Spell checks will change it on you.
Sure will.
And Lenny missed it because he went with
Lenny.
Eleanor Rigsby.
Ooh.
Again, I'm guessing maybe some spell checking there.
Okay, ask him to name the album from which that's.
Mike wants to know if you know the album that Eleanor Rigby
if you're a real Beatles
was on. And
knowledgeable.
I got it on the
fan.
third guess, right? Because I admit to not knowing albums. But now I did listen yesterday a little bit. I probably shouldn't say that, but I did listen yesterday a little bit to one of my favorite albums of all time. And you guys, I know Brett is going to think I'm an idiot. I don't even think he likes them. The Wall.
Oh yeah, of course, Pink Floyd.
Are you
Oh no, I like
Do you?
I like
Okay.
it. Yeah.
I am. There's a couple that were back to back. What's the one? But and which one is? What's your favorite Pink Floyd song? Do you have one?
Brain Damage.
Brain Damage. Mine's Money.
I like Money too.
Yep, I love Money.
Obviously,
I like Money.
Us and Them.
Us and Them's a great song.
That's a great song.
That is a great song. Is that an album
Wish
title
You Were Here.
too, or just? Yeah, I mean, they got a lot of good ones, but
Yeah.
for some
I've
reason,
always liked "Wish You Were Here" and "Comfortably Numb" as well.
Comfortably Numb.
That was ranked their number one song on the side I was on. That was ranked their number one song of all time. Was "Comfortably Numb." So, but so disappointing that a band like that had to break up and not. I'd love to see them in concert. but
Yeah.
you wouldn't see them all, and I don't think the way they talk about each other, you'd ever see them all at this point. But we got more music, more lyric trivia coming up for you here a little bit later.
Does anybody guess the album?
Ned says Revolver.
He is incorrect.
He is incorrect. If I was right a while ago, if Mike remembers what I said, and I was right because
Wait a minute. Maybe he is right. Maybe I'm wrong.
that ain't good when you don't know the answer to the trivia question you want to ask, Mike.
Ooh.
That is
No,
not
I think
good
I'm
at all.
right.
That is not good at all.
I think I'm right.
Yeah. Oh, May. We're going to go through these fairly quickly today. High noon today in Dallas, Texas. So that'll be an 11 a.m. kickoff. Oklahoma and Texas.
It's Revolver.
It is
it?
Revolver.
Yeah,
That's-
you are right, Ned.
that's what I was
regardless
thinking.
of what
Ned,
Mike Powell says.
Ned, I apologize. I was thinking Sgt. Pepper, but you're right. It was Revolver.
And I didn't get it on the third guess. I got it on the fourth one.
Yeah.
Because now I know.
Well, maybe it was on
I still think-
the Japanese version of Sgt. Pepper's. Or
I think I'm
something.
turning Japanese.
Maybe you had the wrong one.
What band sang that, Brett? I think
I
I'm
don't
turning
know.
Japanese. We had the luxury of listening to that in an automobile one time with George Dixon. And if you guys know the song, anybody knows that song, you'll know how irritating that having that song and George Dixon in a vehicle
Which
at the
was
same
more
time.
irritating.
Yeah, well, the combination was
The vapors.
excruciating.
here we get a Ned says his favorite song by Pink Floyd is "Good Morning Worm, Your Honor." Pink Floyd, Off the Wall.
Off the Wall.
I guess he's saying that's his favorite song. Ohio State's at home to take on Maryland. Missouri. Ohio State. Will they be in the playoffs or not?
Yeah,
If
probably.
you had to say yes or no. Well, I don't think but one of them get in. Do you? Michigan or Ohio State? Only
Yeah,
one
I
probably
don't
get
see
in.
both
and
of
then-
them getting
so
in.
Well, they
you're
both
basically-
made it last
you're
year.
basically- yeah, they did.
They could.
So you're basically guessing which one wins that game. I may be wrong. I think Michigan's just a touch better than they were last year. I think Ohio State's just a touch lower.
They're not as good on
And they-
offense.
yeah.
I mean, it's just the quarterback.
Yeah.
Is
I'm not saying they're not good and they
They
can't
don't
make
have C.J.
playoffs.
Stroud.
I just don't think they're quite as good as they were a year ago.
and I do think Michigan is better than them. They also have to play Penn State.
Yeah, and where is the Michigan-Ohio State game this year?
Everybody-
It's at Michigan.
Is it?
Everybody's forgetting about Penn
Penn
State.
State's pretty good.
They
Penn
got a
State's
great
pretty
defense.
good. But Mike, the reason everybody's forgetting about them
They're
is
in the East
they've not
Division.
broken through.
No, they haven't.
They've not broken through. They've
Sure
not. Have they won a Big Ten title?
No.
Are you sure? Now,
Well,
we know
I
you're
don't
not
know.
sure about your albums now.
I'm not sure about anything. If once I miss that, being a Beatles fan,
Well, what-
I'm not sure about anything.
You mean ever?
Yeah. Have they won a Big Ten title since they've been in?
the Big Ten?
Yeah, the Big Ten. Because,
My guess-
honestly, I don't remember.
I think they have.
I think they've won one. If I had to guess, I think they've won one.
Was that under
but-
James Franklin?
But just about
Or
every
someone
other
else?
year, Mike has been either or. It's been either Ohio State or Michigan, right?
Yeah,
So-
mostly Ohio State.
Well,
but
since
yeah.
they started having a Big Ten championship game,
think
I know
Michigan State
Penn
won
State
one.
hadn't won
No.
since they started.
They
doing
may
that.
have won it before they
Didn't
did
Kirk
that.
D. Cousins win a championship game at Michigan State?
I-
Is that the last time they were
remember.
relevant? I guess that's the big question. Michigan State's had a rough go of it.
Well, Link Polly
Many
says
ways.
yes, they have won it, but Ohio State went to the playoffs. That
Okay, so Penn State, even the year they won, Ohio
State
State
ended up
made-
going to the
made
playoff.
made the
Oh yeah, it
playoff.
says they won it in 2016.
They won it
Okay.
that recent.
Yeah,
Okay.
Man, I didn't remember them being in a championship game. They beat Wisconsin 38-31.
Yeah.
I didn't think they'd even been since they were doing the divisions and having a conference championship.
Wisconsin's one of those that slipped a little bit. Their
how
program.
about
slipped a
Maryland
little
today?
bit.
Do they have a shot at?
I don't know. I don't
Ohio
know.
State?
I don't know how explosive Maryland is.
They got a good quarterback.
I
I
just-
know that.
You know what? It looks like to me like the strength of Maryland is their offense. The strength of Ohio State is their defense.
Mm-hmm.
So who's gonna get the best of who in that
Yeah,
battle?
Ohio State's defense is good, and
They're playing at the Horseshoe too.
and they have those two really good receivers. I don't know.
Ned said that's not the title of that song. That's just the first verse of it. That "Good Morning Worm," Good Morning Worm, Your Honor. Just the first line of a song. So, tell me the name of that song. Ned, I can't remember. I can't recall right off. Sometimes when you don't hear the music, but you just hear the words, you know how hard it is to get them without hearing the
Trial. The name of that song.
tune. As we move on, Mississippi State's at home. Non-SEC game against Western Michigan. Rutgers goes to Wisconsin. Why has somebody not snatched up Rutgers coach? Help me with it. Greg
Schiano.
I know that he went to Tennessee for an hour
Yeah.
or two, and the fans were so outraged. This guy can coach.
Oh yeah.
This guy can coach. I'm telling you right now, if I was a Power 5 team and I was in need of a coach, he would have to be one of the ones I interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
He would have to be if he's interested. You know, he's fortunate enough to go back to Rutgers, where he had left before he spent that a day.
That's his alma mater, right?
Is it?
I think so.
But still, Mike, at some point you just got to.
It says he played at Bucknell.
Bucknell.
You got to do
Yeah.
what you got to see what you can do on the big stage at
Yeah.
some point. You know,
I'm surprised too.
I mean,
And they might.
some of the games he's winning, some of the games that he's playing, teams ranked in the top 10 to a competitive game. I mean,
Well, will Michigan State come calling? I hope so, because I don't want them to snatch Duke's
Same
coach,
conference,
Mike
right?
Elko.
same conference.
You know,
it don't happen a lot.
Yeah, but
Schiano-
Michigan State's a higher profile.
It is,
Schiano
it
had
is.
some kind of involvement when the whole Jerry Sandusky
Yeah,
thing
that's
came
the whole
out.
thing. Yeah.
Is that what it
I
was?
think
Penn
Michigan
State.
State would avoid
Yeah,
somebody that had that.
In their case, they better.
Yeah.
Yeah, they better.
They don't need any more
Negative publicity.
sex scandals. Let's put it that way.
And I don't
Oh,
remember.
that's right. No bad publicity.
Well, I wouldn't say that in his
I don't
line of
remember.
work.
I don't remember exactly how Schiano was tied into that. I mean, I guess he was on Penn State staff.
Okay,
but
so does that automatically make you guilty though? If you're just on the staff,
I don't know if he did anything
Yeah,
wrong.
I know,
but
Yeah.
I know.
I know.
I mean, if you're just on that staff, I mean, you get.
or
you-
is that
you
guilt
can't-
by just association?
I don't know. I don't know.
it was because he didn't bring up anything.
He didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Well, the thing was, the implication was that a lot of people knew what was going on but didn't come forward.
Right.
And that's the same
Right.
thing with Paterno.
Yep.
And that marred his legacy.
I'll tell you something about that knowing and not telling at the break. I'll tell you something about that. NC State's at home to take on Marshall.
Does Marshall have a shot?
Absolutely.
I do too.
Absolutely.
Undefeated.
You better not get into I don't want to use the word shootout, but
No, we don't
better
use
not
that
get into a
anymore.
high-scoring affair, or I would really like Marshall, I think, in that game. Let's see. Number 13, Washington State at UCLA. That'll be two of the best uniforms. UCLA has some sharp-looking football uniforms. I swear they do.
Yeah, you passed over my Chippewas.
Did I miss the Chippewas?
Central Michigan and Buffalo.
Yep. Jason says Schiano allegedly, here's that word allegedly, witnessed Sandusky's actions with the kids and did not tell anyone. So, yeah, that'll get you in trouble a lot of time.
I would love to see a Maryland upset of Ohio State. No, that's what Link Polly wants to see. I agree with him.
Yeah.
I'll be back for break.
That's a 19-point spread.
Yeah.
While we're on this subject, let's just get the elephant in the room here. Everybody has somebody they hate in college football. For years, it was Miami because they were so good. They were beating people's butts. They were kicking butts.
Yep.
Who is the most hated team in college football right now? Is it Ohio State? That's why I brought it up. Is it Ohio State?
Mine's not going to be the same as.
Well, yours Southern Cal.
Mine's Southern Cal, Michigan, or mine too. But
Southern Cal, I understand it's a rival in Notre Dame's, but why Michigan?
no, that was their other biggest rival.
Okay. I just wondered if that's what it was.
How could you hate any team with the best fight song in college football?
Because he thinks his school's got the
Hail
best
to the
fight song.
victors.
He thinks Notre Dame.
And I agree. The Notre Dame fight song is number 2 on my list.
Number 2.
Southern Cal's another team that has a good fight song.
They have a great
They have two good fight songs.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yes, they
don't
do.
forget Boomer Sooner fight song.
I don't even know it.
Dun, 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 dun.
That sounds like Michigan.
Yeah,
It does, doesn't it?
That was Michigan.
That was Michigan.
You're a secret Michigan fan. See?
I
You
do
don't-
like
you
Michigan.
don't
I've
know
always
it?
liked Michigan.
Oh, it's great. It's great. Great atmosphere. Great.
and I don't
uniforms.
like-
The helmets
yeah.
are unbelievable.
I don't like
The big
Ohio
house.
State, but I'll pull for Ohio State over Michigan
Right.
every time they
Yeah.
play.
Okay, so
I say Ohio State's the most
Okay,
hated
I know
team.
Rogers. I know Rogers is Florida. He hates Florida. He's a
Yeah.
Tennessee fan. He hates Florida.
Right.
Who are some of our other listeners out there? Who is
But
the
there's not
college
a-
team you want to see lose every week?
There's not like a Duke in college basketball. There's nobody in college football
No, there-
like
it used
that.
to be Notre Dame that
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
hated, but I think that's kind of faded away because they've gone so long. And Roger sends me Florida. I knew that was his. I would like to know other people's
I don't think people hate
least
Alabama.
favorite college football team.
Do you think people? how
Yeah,
about
it might be Alabama. It could be though nationally because they've won so many titles.
How about Clemson? Are they hated?
No,
Winning
maybe locally.
in Columbia.
Yeah, there might be some other ACC.
I hate them because
There's no reason to hate
fans.
Clemson. I don't know of a reason to
they're
hate.
orange. That's why.
I mean,
Your East Lincoln followers are going to be mad, Mike.
yeah,
I do not like hearing Dabo on TV,
I
but
don't either.
I don't hate Clemson though.
Right.
I don't
Lanny's
know.
a Clemson fan, and I
Yeah.
think he dislikes Dabo more than we do.
I don't think there's a nationally hated college team
Yeah.
like as you say in other sports.
Jason says also Schiano, since his return to Rutgers in 2020, his record is 16-19. That includes being 4-1 so far this season. So he hadn't been setting the woods on fire overall. But this year he has got him on a pretty good roll.
Well, he's
Be interested to know who Jason, being a Southern Cal fan, is his most hated team, Notre Dame, like a back at you, or is it somebody else?
Well, would it be UCLA for him? But they've dominated. UCLA.
I don't see how you could really hate
Hate
UCLA football.
And it may not
I mean,
be anybody.
Yeah.
Let me ask you
Oregon.
this: is before it's all said and done,
wherever Dion is.
where will it be?
Wherever-
Colorado.
Now that may.
I don't
be.
think it'll be Colorado because I don't think he's going to be there but a couple years.
I do not hate Colorado by no means. I'm
Oh, he's been the biggest story in college football this
and
year.
now, it's kind of settled back down to earth the last couple of
Little bit,
weeks too with the
yeah.
losses, but he's going to win. He's going to win games, so it might,
I'm like
your guy don't get to go there.
I don't think he's going to be there long enough to really more than just.
I know Florida State.
Now we're talking about who they hate the most. Monty Mossteller says he hates the University of North Carolina fight song. I don't know if that's what he's talking about or not. I'm just kidding.
I don't like that.
But he's got it on here, and he wants me to play it, and it's 2 words in it, Tar Heel and Rah Rah.
Yeah.
He wasn't saying he hates their fight.
No, he would not. I just threw that in there because I was asking for the hates. I was just picking at money this morning, but Tar Heel born, Tar Heel bred. When I die, I'll be a Tar Heel dead. I mean, we've heard that our whole lives. I have to talk to Monty
what a sad life.
about something about that one day because Mike and I discussed it a little bit yesterday. But we won't right now. Not on there for sure.
No, we won't.
Let's see. More recently, as a USC fan, I don't care for Oregon. That's Jason.
Yeah, well, Oregon. I mentioned Oregon.
Yep.
Well, and UCLA does have Chip Kelly, so I could see some carryover hate with him from his Oregon days. But
now I've got Butch's here that he hates the most, but
I don't think
I don't know who it is. He initialed it, and I've got to think about it.
What the initial?
TTUN. I guess that's his hated team. First thing came to my mind is Texas Tech, but then I don't know what the UN. Maybe you don't like the United Nations either.
Texas Tech and the United Nations he hates.
But I
don't see why he would hate the
TTUN.
Texas.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of where, maybe. I know exactly what it is. You don't have to answer, Butch. I know what it is already. All I had to do was think
up north.
That team up north.
That team up north.
Yeah. All I had to think of was the Ohio State in him.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Is that? Honestly, I think that is I hate to say it because being right here in North Carolina and Duke in basketball, but I think that.
That rivalry has the most hatred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at least North Carolina and Duke, and God forbid it ever, gets violent. That one does at times.
Yeah, it does.
That football rivalry does get. I've heard stories of Michigan people arriving in Columbus for the game and cars getting beat up because they knew it had a Michigan tag on it. And I'm sure it's happened vice versa. But that's taking it too far. But I just wondered, I'd like to know some of these teams.
I would guess Auburn, Alabama is probably second.
Auburn, Alabama's up there.
In
football. Football, yeah. Well, Oklahoma, Texas, in Mike's case. A bigger rivalry than Oklahoma State.
Yeah, Bedlam. Yeah, of course.
Just because it's much more balanced than Oklahoma dominated Oklahoma State for years. I don't know.
Did.
If they
I think Duke and Carolina is a friendly rivalry.
It is, and it's even more friendly among players than most people realize.
Really
they play together. They play.
They play each other. Yeah. They play together in the summer.
Pick up games together and stuff like that.
Games.
I would say in the '90s,
and they
probably didn't like each other. The players
grew up
probably
knowing
didn't like
each other through AAU as well. AAU,
but now
so
now the
they
players
know each other
are friends.
before they commit.
Well, there's been Duke's had some players and Carolina's had some players that are controversial. But to be quite honest, and you put all your hate on those particular players. Christian Laettner in the '90s.
Yeah,
I meant to wear my I Love Laettner shirt today, but
I want one of those. Can you get them?
Oh, I'm sure you can. They make the I hate. That's what got it started. But then you came up with the I Love Laettner shirt. I think last time I checked, Monty was borrowing mine. Just kidding, Monty. Had to say that. Him or Jeff Mason, one of the two, right? Got to throw them out there. Solid Carolina.
How about
fans.
Texas and Texas A&M, as Link Polly suggests?
Texas and Texas
There's
A&M.
a hatred there.
Yeah.
They will begin playing each other.
And the history
again.
of it, I don't think it's like it is today, like it was when we were growing up.
No, I don't think
when we were
it
growing
is.
up, that was one.
Well, now they're going to be playing each other in
kept
the
your eyes
SEC,
on.
right? I mean, they're going to be in the same conference.
Did they go a while without playing each other?
Yeah,
that's
they
what
have.
I thought. I thought they did. But
Sure
the
have.
main thing I remember about that rivalry is the bonfire that went awry at Texas A&M.
Right.
Ooh. Oregon State, Oregon. Nobody sent me that one.
I
just hit
I
me
don't know
because
much about.
It's got a nickname.
I don't know much
What's
about,
it called? And you got the Egg Bowl between the Mississippi schools.
Now that's a lot of hate.
Yeah, it is.
I had a colleague at Gaston College who went to Ole Miss, and he despised the Bulldogs.
Monty says his favorite Duke player all time is Gerald Henderson.
Yeah.
He says Gerald Henderson's elbow wasn't friendly. Oh, me. Yeah, they've had their moments.
I mean, between the fans, I think that's a friendly rivalry.
Yeah.
Unlike Ohio State, Michigan.
Yeah, we talk to each other.
Yeah.
They don't. You know, I mean, it's that simple. We talk to each other and joke about it and everything, but there's no joking when it comes to Ohio State and Michigan. It gets pretty heated. Oregon State is called the Civil War.
That's right.
Yep. Even though I don't know if there's much civil about it, a more bitter rivalry is UNC and NC State in football. I can see that than UNC.
Pretty good
Duke,
rivalry.
Yeah, big rivalry. And
Well, I wonder what the Ohio State-Michigan basketball is like. I mean,
they go at it, and you can tell. I've watched some of the games.
Yeah.
You know, CBS usually carries those two matchups each year when Michigan and Ohio State play each other, and especially if they're both in the top 25. You know, so every now and then they're both in the top 10.
because most of these rivalries are just one sport.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, I'm sure Duke and Carolina fans want to beat each other.
They want to
in
win the football games, but
it's not that.
that's
not
more
that big of a deal.
to me. That's more for the people, the graduates
Yeah.
of Duke and North Carolina. Is where it gets a little more edgy. Notre Dame, number 10, goes to Louisville today to take on the undefeated Cardinals.
I bet Brett has to be a little on edge about that one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, well, and
he's
with
been on
Southern,
edge the last
with-
2 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
With Southern Cal coming up next week, you just don't know how focused. You know, it's kind of it could be a trap game. And Notre Dame is playing 8 straight games without an off week.
That's tough.
To start the season.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
they had a trip to Ireland
Yeah.
to start that off. It's
Where
a
you
tough
out a little bit,
schedule.
yeah.
I mean, Ohio State, at Duke, at Louisville, and then Southern Cal in 4 weeks.
That's a tough
that is
road to
that
hoe.
is.
I think they can get by Louisville.
I'll put it this way: they've been battle tested
Oh yeah, they
No
have
doubt.
They've-
already. Battle-tested.
last two have been really
Yep.
defensive games. I know Louisville's got an explosive offense. Notre Dame's supposed to be getting some. They were missing their top 3 receivers last week at Duke.
Wow, 3. How do you miss 3 at
They're
one
supposed
time?
to be getting at least 2 of those back today.
Oregon State, number 15, visits Cal. Arizona is at number 9, Southern California. Iowa State's at home to take on TCU. Baylor is at home to take on Texas Tech. Wyoming will host Fresno State. That's number 24, Fresno State. Georgia Tech is at Miami. Miami's ranked 17th in the country. This is the kind of game, if you're going to be the old Miami, you have to win this one, and you have to win it kind of handily.
At one time, that
You know?
Miami-Florida State was a really good
Yeah.
rivalry.
It was?
I guess it probably still is in Florida. It's just neither team's been, top 5 or top 10 in a long time.
One of them up there now.
Yeah.
One of them up there now. Here's the game I am most looking forward to today. I'm definitely going to watch some Oklahoma, Texas. Okay, don't get me wrong. But for some reason, I cannot wait to see that Kentucky-Georgia game.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it's when it is. I'm glad it's a night
Well,
game.
Georgia's looked vulnerable
They have.
a couple times.
But you know what? A lot of times when you do that and all of a sudden you're playing an undefeated,
Yeah.
you look your best, and
Have
they are at
been
home.
a sleeping giant
Yep.
a little bit this
Yeah.
year?
Now, last week when they
Quarterbacks
got
still gotta
behind in
prove
the second
himself, though.
half, they started going to Bowers, and Auburn couldn't do
They
anything
need
about
to go
it.
with him.
They just-
Go to him
Yeah.
earlier.
Yep. Just looking here, I think the
He's one of the best college tight ends I've ever seen. I don't know if he'll be dominant in the NFL, but he's dominant right now. I mean,
Right.
he might be the best player in college football.
Wow.
For his position,
at his position.
Yeah, he's not going to stand out as much as the Caleb Williams, but
Yeah. 2 5-0s get kicked off at noon. We can't forget that one. Oklahoma and Texas. A 5-0 and a 4-0 when you talk about Maryland, Ohio State, and then
Maryland still have Tua's brother
Yep.
at quarterback.
They sure do. Nobody knows how to pronounce either name, so you just call him Tua's brother.
I don't even know what his name is.
I think that's what they say on the PA.
I still haven't learned how to
Tua's
pronounce Tua's last name. Is it Tagovailoa? No, that's not right.
I think it starts with tag.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, Tag. That's right.
Tagovailoa.
Tagovailoa.
Something like that. But I just going to say
And
Tua.
he's been around now for 5 or 6 years.
It's
and still
simple.
can't
Tua
pronounce it.
and Tua's brother.
Yeah, that's easy.
That's all you have to say.
Taulia is the brother's name.
And
Talia.
And his last name is at Maryland. Tua's brother at Maryland.
The one I struggle with is the QB at Oregon State who transferred from Clemson.
Ukulele.
Oh, yeah.
Ukulele.
Ukulele.
DJ
Think about the little
Think about
ukulele. The
ukulele,
Hawaiian.
yeah.
Just call him
There you go.
DJU.
BJU.
All right, it's time for us to take our second time out here. We're at halftime here on Sports Talk. The next lyrics that I have for you guys to guess this morning, and again, don't blurt it out. It's just lyrics.
Okay.
Don't blurt it out. Let the listeners try to guess too. I'm going to read it as stoically as I can here.
Oh, he lobs in a good word, stoically. Hey, I got to give you kudos.
Let's see. Let me read Jason's comment here real quick. Tua's brother's name is pronounced Tulia. 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 Tulia.
Tulia Tagovailoa.
Yep. And I may not even get that pronunciation right, but he tried to spell it out for me. TU-LIA, I think is what it said.
What's the hardest name you've come across in our announcing gigs together to pronounce? There was a
like
few
in high school games?
There was a few last night for Newton Conover that I struggled with a bit early.
Just doing a Thomasville game.
Yeah. Okay. Good deal.
Real quick here. Here are your lyrics, and then Brett's going to hit the button for the commercial.
All right.
New car, caviar, 4-star, daydream. Think I'll buy me a football team. There you go.
Ooh. Oh.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Daryl Hatchett Family Dentistry is not just a name, it's the way you're treated the minute you walk in. A full-service dental practice with over 20 years experience and lifelong resident of Catawba and Lincoln County. His commitment and caring run deep in the community. Located at the intersection of Highway 150 and Business 16 in Denver, he's convenient to where you are. Open Monday through Thursday from 8 to 5, so look no further for your dentist than Daryl Hatchett Family Dentistry. Call 704-489-9919 for your appointment or more information. Daryl Hatchett Family Dentistry.
Sooner or later, everyone wants to make their home dreams a reality. I'm sure you've seen the television shows and flipped through magazines and you know what you want. Or then again, maybe you're not sure. You know that you want something different and something better. Get started today by contacting the building professionals at Key Builders in Lincoln. Visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and check out their many floor plans. There's one there for you and your family. Key Builders, locally owned and operated at 1459 North Ashman Street in Lincoln. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Lake Electric Company was founded in 1984. They are licensed in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Virginia. Safety and quality is first in everything they do. For all your electrical needs, serving Lincoln County, Catawba County, Burke County, Mecklenburg County, and all the surrounding counties. When it has to be done right, call Lake Electric. Let them take care of your family. Lake Electric Company, 4362 Providence Mill Road, Maiden. Call 704-483-4000. Online at lakeelectric.com.
Hi folks, this is Will Poteet, president and co-owner of RE/MAX Crossroads. The real estate market is ever changing, but it's not too late to sell your home for a great price. If you're thinking about selling your home, give us a call at 704-736-1717 to speak with one of our expert agents. We would love the opportunity to earn your business.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. The electrical panel is the heart of your home's electrical system. Malfunctions can lead to hazards like fire or power outages, leaving your home at risk or in the dark altogether. Fixing it quickly will help keep you and your family safe. So trust our team of electrical experts at Mr. Sparky to get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
And welcome back. Dunkin' Donuts coffee, Dunkin' Donuts. Thanks to Brett. It's pretty good stuff here.
Oh, we do?
This morning. Oh, we do, says Mike. I have a winner. Lenny Anthony is getting the winner this morning, the first one to get the lyrics that I read, our music lyrics this morning. I'm going to read them one more time. Brett had a great guess. And, I started thinking about it. He said the Billy Joel song. I can't remember which one it is you thought it was.
Still Rock and Roll to Me.
Still Rock and Roll to Me.
Yeah.
And it does sound a little bit like that, and like this could be the words in that. Next time I sing that, I'll hear it and sing along with it. I'll try to stick these words in there and see how it does. But I'm going to give you a couple more minutes, Brett and Mike, because you both really should get it. And I've thrown out a couple hints at it.
No, you haven't thrown out what hints?
I'm not going to tell you. They were subtle hints. I didn't want to tell you. I did not want to tell you they were hints.
Oh.
One more time. New car, caviar, 4-star, daydream. Think I'll buy me a football team. Those some good words right there, and it goes right hand in hand with us in football. You know, you can't beat those lyrics.
No.
And
solo artist or group?
Yes. Group.
Have we seen them?
No. I don't want to tell you that. If I'd have said yes, you'd have really been in the ballpark. But even no helps some, because now it rules out quite a few, right?
Maybe I should add the trivia that we discussed last night.
I got it on the third guess. It took me a while last night, but I got it on.
Took you about 20 minutes on that.
On the third. Wait till he announce this one, and then you can do it.
Okay.
Have you guys already given up and just want to know?
I give up.
Brett's got it on the tip of his tongue, he says, but if he wants to know,
I know.
Lenny got it.
I know those words.
Yep. Well, I'm going to give you a hint here. I just said a few minutes ago, I like those lyrics that are kind of off the wall.
Oh, well, yeah, that does it.
Well, name it then.
Pink
if that
Floyd.
does it. Yeah. What song? You still don't have the song.
Yeah.
But I told you this morning how much I like the song. Think of a cash register ringing.
Oh, yeah, money.
New car, caviar, 4-star, daydream. Think I'll buy me a football team. Money.
I didn't
Lenny
realize
Anthony
that was in the lyrics.
gets it. Money. That's early in the lyrics, too.
Okay.
That's either the first or second line.
All right.
In the song, but it's just harder when you don't hear it with the music.
That's right,
with the music going to it. There's no doubt about it.
right.
I am pulling up the high school football scoreboard. Mike, throw your question out there.
Oh, yeah, here's my question on music trivia. Name the group that started in 1970 and remained intact with the same members until 2021, when one of the members of the band passed away.
You left out one key ingredient of that question.
American.
There you
It's
go.
an American
Yeah,
group.
because you told me last night
That's right.
to really realize it's an American.
That's right. An American
It's an
rock
American
band.
No, it's an American band.
Yeah.
That started in 1970.
1970.
Had just the original members its entire career till one died 2 years ago.
2 years ago in 2021.
One of them
That's
died.
correct.
Yeah,
American-
and I got it, but it took to the third guess.
Yeah, I did. You finally got it.
It wasn't quite as good as I liked.
And they were still
for it.
active up until
And still
a couple
are.
years ago.
I think they still
Okay.
are, aren't they, Mike? They
I
got a
believe-
new one of these.
I believe so. The only
Excuse
hint
me.
I will give is that they have a very distinctive look.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said last night. First, I went Kiss.
Yeah, they got it.
But they haven't lost a member.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kiss was a good guess.
But distinctive look made me think Kiss. And you know what? It's I could throw out even another. Let's give people a little bit of chance
give them
before
a
we do.
chance. Give them a chance.
Yes, Gene Schruntz. Bingo. Gene Schruntz has the answer.
All right, Gene.
Yep. I'm still not going to say it.
He's
yet, in case-
leaning toward Schruntz.
Yeah, in case somebody else wants to tries to get in, but that is exactly right.
Yeah,
He got it.
Good
he got
job
it correct.
there.
What I was going to say is the other hint I was going to give was the distinct look doesn't have to be put on for each
That's right. It's not like Kiss that has to do the makeup and stuff.
The distinct look is just a
Or
distinct
Alice
look,
Cooper.
whether they're on the street or on the stage
That's right.
or lying in bed. It's
right.
there. Let's see. We're going to go through some of the scores from last night. And Brett, if it hits you or whatever, just stop me. And anybody else, if anybody else's pops up on my phone, I'll stop in the middle of the scoreboard and tell them. J.M. Robinson beat West Rowan last night, 59-7. A.L. Brown over West Cabarrus, 49-34. I am starting to keep an eye on this Mooresville Blue Devil team. Yeah. They are ranked number 10 in North Carolina in all classifications. 45-0 last night over South Iredale. A very, very good-looking Mooresville football team that could make some noise in the 4A playoffs when they roll around.
I got a guess, but I got no idea if a member has passed away or not. Aerosmith.
That was one. That was my other guess.
That was your other
That was
guess.
one of my. That was one of my misses. It's it's not Aerosmith.
No.
Okay.
And he does have a distinct look.
Yeah, that's for
Steven Tyler.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. Anson County beat Piedmont 28-14. Wake Forest High School 41-17 over Wakefield. Butler over Rocky River 42-0. East Duplin, defending 2A state champions. I think they're still undefeated on the season. 42-0 last night on the road at North Lenoir. Northeastern beat Camden County 51-0. West Charlotte loses to Huff last night. Don't forget, West Charlotte was ranked higher than Huff going into this game.
I told you they couldn't beat Huff.
And West Charlotte, you did tell me that.
It's
and
still your favorite to win the 3A, right?
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I said they are going to cause some pain.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to be in the 3A playoffs, but they lose 23-7 to 4A Huff last night. Mallard Creek and Harding played last night. No score reported as of yet. Let's find some West scores here, trying to. Providence Day 49, Country Day 13, Battle of Private Schools in Charlotte. No score on the Tarboro Perkins game.
I got that one.
Do you?
42-6 Tarboro.
Yeah, I figured Tarboro would be the one on top.
And Mallard Creek Harding says 53-0. Isn't that one you said there was no
Mallard
score
Creek
for?
won 53-0.
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me. Get a load of this. 90 points scored in the game last night. I'm setting them up, right? 90 points in the game last night. Pamlico beat Lejeune 70-20. That's just.
Hey, that was the score of the Miami-Denver game.
It was the score of Miami-Denver. It was the score of Miami-Denver. That's Sean Payton that criticizes other coaches and how they do a bad job giving up 70 last week.
It's the previous coach's fault.
And I like Sean Payton, I really do. But there's some things you just don't say.
You just don't say.
Think them, but don't say them.
Yeah.
T.C. Roberson rolled over Asheville 41-13. Community School of Davidson beat Howard. Hey, that's actually Community Christian. I'm sorry, 50-26. West Stanley falls to Forest Hills. Forest Hills wins 56-7. AC Reynolds over Irwin. Battle of Asheville. East Asheville, West Asheville. 45-3 last night in that one. Eastern Alamance over Cedar Ridge, 63-10. North Meck over West Meck, 34-6. Myers Park beats Ardrey Kell, 32-16. West Craven, 20. Farmville Central, 7. Kernersville Glen over Winston-Salem Reynolds, 54-16. McDowell shuts out Inca, 44-0. Isn't that back-to-back wins for McDowell?
Mm-hmm.
I think we sat here last week and said that they had won a game last week as well. Roseville, 53-30 over Millbrook. Battle of ranked teams there. Number 7 Roseville beats number 25 Millbrook in that contest. No score on Concord South Rowan, although I saw it on something last night. You may have it. West Forsyth loses to Reagan. Reagan beats West Forsyth last night, 35-26. You tell them a little surprise there at the outcome. Havelock over Jacksonville, 28-17. Hoggard beats Ashley, a Battle of Wilmington, 38-6 last night. Monroe over Parkwood, 55-7.
Is Monroe undefeated?
Yes. I'm pretty sure they are, aren't they, Brett? They're ranked 13th overall.
There'll be a problem.
They're going to be a problem.
Unless they played they lost one. They've played a big Charlotte school.
Yeah.
West Charlotte beat them. West Charlotte.
How bad?
43-29.
Wow, so they did score 29.
Yeah.
on that good 3A school there. I forgot what our question was now, but Ned gives me Toto with a question mark.
The band that's been together since 1970.
Okay.
And only lost one member.
I wasn't sure if it was
2 years
music
ago.
or Wizard of Oz trivia.
Toto. Can you name Toto's most famous song? Africa.
No. Hold the line, baby.
Hold the line is more famous.
To me, I mean, that was their first big hit, and I thought it stayed their biggest hit.
Okay.
I mean, that's just my favorite. It was Hold the Line.
I kind of like Africa.
I've never been. Let's see. Got a lot here with no scores showing. Weddington beats Porter Ridge 36-12. Lakewood over North Duplin 23-15. Green Central 30-20 over Washington. East Forsyth 62-7 over Parkland. Southwest Onslow beats South Lenoir 50-0. Independence over Providence 54-21. Charlotte Catholic over Garinger 51-0. Lake Norman beats Hickory Ridge 30-6. James Keenan 49, Kinston 26. South Granville and Vance County, no score there. Dixon beats Swansboro 26-21. Southern Guilford falls to Ben L. Smith 31-0. Ben L. Smith the winner. Carson falls to Northwest Cabarrus 37-0. So that moves Northwest Cabarrus to about 7-0.
Yeah, fifth shutout.
Fifth shutout. They are in that loaded 3A playoffs when that comes rolling around, and I do mean loaded.
I like to see them play Crest.
Yeah. Well, you might get to. Might be an opportunity. Mountain Island Charter beats Christ the King 34-0. I just don't know. I feel kind of guilty if I go out there and beat Christ the King.
Yeah. What about Person beating Orange? That's so
by
weird.
itself?
Yeah.
Which person?
Beat a color.
Mike, one of Mike's favorites, Beargrass Charter, 46-8 over Columbia. Go Beargrass. St. Paul's over Fairmont, 35-6. Nash Central falls. No, they win over Northern Nash.
Yes, Northern
that's their
Nash
first
is,
loss.
First loss.
Yeah, because they were ranked 19th. They're runner-ups last year in 3A. Falls to county rival Nash Central, 49-26. Think there was a crowd at that game? Yeah. Oh, my. Because one of those teams, was it Nash Central we saw, Brett, about 3 years ago at NC State?
Remember
had the biggest crowd we had ever seen.
Really?
Whichever Nash it was. And they had the running back that went to Wake Forest.
Mm-hmm.
But they beat Catholic. They lost to Catholic at the end. They led the whole game, and Catholic beat them at the end. Was that not?
Was that? I don't think it was Nash.
Was
Central.
it Southern Nash?
I don't know.
It could have been Southern. Whoever it was wearing
They were
red.
red.
They were wearing red.
It looks like Nash Central is red. But
you got to see where the running back at Wake Forest, the top running back, where
I just don't remember seeing.
And I can't remember his
Nash
name.
Central play.
I do not remember his name. That really good running back. Palisades beat Olympic 32-14. Lexington defeats West Davidson 40-14. Brevard over Chase last night, 28-21. Hobton. Here's the game of the week, guys. Hobton scores 83 last night. Don't blurt this out.
No.
Hobton scores 83 last night. How much do you think they won by? That's for our listeners. They scored 83 last night. How much do you think they won by? Well, they actually lost.
Yeah.
106-83. Pender County beats Hobton. Pender County coach, former Bandy's coach, Mike Eanes.
Former East Lincoln coach,
Mike Eanes.
That was Southern Nash.
Was it Southern?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Julius Pepper's school.
Tom
that we saw a
Eanes.
couple years ago.
The Firebirds.
Tom Eanes. What did I say?
I think you said Mike.
I may have. Tom Eanes.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Eanes getting it done. 106 points last night to beat Hobton. 106-83. It becomes the highest scoring football game in North Carolina high school football history, from what we understand.
I'm not surprised by that.
No, I'm not either. Grimsley beat Ragsdale 56-6. Crest over North Gaston 36-0. RS Central and Patton, no score listed, but I know RS Central won the game. I remember seeing it last night.
That's kind of surprising. Only 36 for Crest.
Yeah, I know. I wonder what happened there. Robbinsville 26-21 over Murphy. Speaking of crowds, I'm sure there was a crowd in Murphy last night for that Robbinsville game. Mount Pleasant over Union Academy 55-7. Watauga beats Alexander Central 41-34. I was a little surprised that one is as close as it was. Mountain Heritage beats Avery County 45-7. Here's one of your best games of the night. Mount Tabor and number 21 Davie County. Mount Tabor wins 35-34 last night at Mount Tabor. East Surrey wins 42-12 over Forbush. Undefeated Bunker Hill 28, East Burke 6 last night. North Lincoln rolled last night over St. Stephen's 50-0 in that one. It was Lincoln defeating West Caldwell 49-13. East Wilkes and Elkin, I think I had that one on here twice maybe. No, I don't. Elkin wins 13-0. Elkin over East Wilkes 13-0. Drone just continues to win, guys. 36-0 over Madison County last night. East Lincoln got their offense back on track last night. They rolled to a 62-13 win over Fred T. Ford. Swain County beats Hayesville 21-13. Thomasville over South Davidson 48-2. Wilkes Central 7. West Wilkes 6. That one will keep you on the edge of your seat all night long. I don't see the final here, but I thought I was a little surprised last night. Ashe County beat High Brighton by 3 touchdowns or more. Yeah, they won that game handily last night over High Brighton. Salisbury over East Davidson 57-6. Southwest Guilford beats Southeast Guilford 26-20. Maiden comes from behind, down 10-0 in this game, comes back and wins over Bandy's 14-10. Burns over Thomas Jefferson 70-7. Richmond County wins over Union Pines 26-0. Jack Britt falls to Fayetteville 71st 37-0. The game Mike and I were at, West Lincoln wins over Newton Conover 26-20. A good game, but only one score in the second half, the entire second half last night.
Had all kind of fireworks, explosive plays in the first half, 26-14 at the break. And as you say, it just devolved into kind of a sort of a defensive struggle. Neither team could really get anything going.
On homecoming night at Newton Conover. And we found out, I don't usually like to point this stuff out, but I found it odd to find out last night from our buddy Phil that works in the press box there that Newton hadn't won a home game since last year. And it's actually been over a calendar year now.
September 29th against East Burke was their last home win, and last night's loss to the Rebels, 6 straight at home for Newton Conover.
Yeah, was it? 6 straight Newton wins over West?
No, 6 straight home losses for Newton over 2 seasons.
I thought it would have been 4th.
And they only have one more chance this year, and unfortunately that's against Bunker Hill.
Yeah, it's Bunker Hill.
So
that's going to be tough. West Lincoln with the win. Did not have Caden Smith last night in their backfield, but Keegan Bostic.
Yeah,
and
he had 124 yards rush, and he did a super job filling in for Caden at that fullback position.
And some explosive runs by Winix.
Yeah, Winix had a big night, over 100 yards. And don't forget, I thought his pick 6 when they were down 8-0 after Newton had just sort of punched him in the mouth with that.
What's weird was West Lincoln threw an interception to Newton.
Yeah.
On the very next play, Newton threw a pick 6 right in Winnick's hands. You don't see back-to-back interceptions at any level much, but especially in high school.
Yeah, we
saw that last
broke
night.
on that route, and it was a great play by him.
Yep.
To get them on the board, they were down 8-0.
They had to work and earn that win last night.
It was
a
hard-earned win.
Yeah, give Newton a lot of credit in that game. I mean, they showed a lot
came out in the second
guts.
half, played better defense, and gave the Rebels some problems, particularly at their pass rush. Sacked quarterback Gideon Allen a couple of times. I thought Allen played a terrific game, too, on both sides of the ball.
It was a physical game last night. Both sides. It was a physical game last night.
A lot of
between
cramps,
those two.
Hard hitting. Yeah, it was a good ball game.
I don't know if I did this one, but I'm going to do it again just in case. Lake Norman Charter falls to North Stanley. North Stanley 57-20. Freedom over South Caldwell 37-30. Mount Airy over South Stokes. You know the score of that one, Mike? Mount Airy over St. Stokes.
70-0.
It's the road you take to get to Mount Airy. One of them. 77.
77.
To nothing.
Mount Airy's outscored their opponents 442-22.
Yeah.
In 8 games.
That has to be the best ratio in the
best.
state.
Yeah.
I can't imagine anybody would be
6 shutouts.
Worse or
in 8
better,
games.
whichever.
Nah, that's
6
gotta be.
shutout. It's in 8 games. They are a good team, and they are going to do they're going to compete for a 1A title, I would think, in November and December.
Should.
Tuscola 41-0 over East Henderson. Kings Mountain gives South Point their 3rd consecutive loss. That's hard to drill in my head when you talk South Point. 3rd consecutive loss. Yes, Ned, you have got it correct this time with your guess on the music trivia question we had. Cherville wins last night. Mike, was it 36-0? It's not on my scoreboard.
I have a missing score as well.
Yeah, I think it was 36-0 or right around that.
Ironman
Last night
get their first
win. East Gaston over Bessemer City, 43-14. Is the Tribe, the East Gaston Warriors, are they still unbeaten?
Unbeaten.
How about that?
7-0.
I got 46-0 for Cherville.
Okay, 46. I had the 6 right. 46-0 for Cherville last night. Ashbrook beats Kramer, Stuart Kramer, 41-6. Reedsville over West Oaks, 49-8. I actually thought that would be closer than that in that game. Ledford over Montgomery Central, 21-10.
Reedsville's starting to get some players back that they've been missing.
They have had injuries. Yeah. Hunter Huss wins over Forest View in a close one, 18-15. East Rutherford, I'm pretty sure, defeated Hendersonville. I don't have that score here.
No, mine said that Hendersonville won.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it had Hendersonville winning by.
Maybe I just saw a score that was late in
41-35.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
41-35. Yeah, that's not the score I saw when I saw it. So it wasn't over yet the last time I seen it. West Henderson beats Pisgah 30-10. Cape Fear 58. Douglas Bird nothing last night.
Is West Henderson 3A?
Yes.
They're also 8-0.
Yep. I'm pretty sure they're 3A. Yeah, Pisgah and West Henderson both
are. The West is going to be full. Well, I guess all these teams aren't going to be undefeated at the end of the season.
Right.
But
still, you might as well be because it took playing each
Crest
other.
and Kings Mountain have to play each other.
It took playing each other to lose one. Yeah. North Iredale Hickory, it says missing score. I do know Hickory won that game pretty handily last night. A rundown there of your scores.
And, of course, let's talk about that West Iredale Statesville game now.
Yes, that's where I was wanting to go back to. Thank you, Mike. I said I'm going to come back to that. West Iredale Statesville postponed due to threat of violence. Just a threat of violence, nothing.
Yeah.
I don't think anything took place. But I think there was maybe an arrest made we had a source here that let us know maybe an arrest was made during the game. They're going to continue Monday at 6, right, Mike?
Yep.
With no fans.
And the score is 18. What's the score?
That part I can't remember.
This
I think West Iredale's up.
West Iredale's ahead 18-13.
In the third quarter?
Yeah. 4:42 left in the third.
In the third quarter.
And Statesville's got the ball at the West Iredale 26. So, I mean, a really good game.
Yeah.
Shame
it had to be marred by
Statesville principal Chad Parker said there was a threat of a shooting and that firearms were confiscated in the parking lot. The game will resume Monday at 4:30, and no fans will be allowed.
Which place was the game at?
Statesville. The Hollow.
Okay.
Graham Hollow, that is.
All right, let's take a timeout, our final timeout. Gene Schrantz and Ned both nailed the group we're looking for.
Okay.
Been together since 1970. Original members till one died 2 years ago. The distinctive look is beards down to their waist, Brett.
Okay.
There you know.
Yeah.
Now you know.
ZZ Top. And the one that died was the only one without a beard.
That's
and
right.
what's his name? Beard.
Yeah, Dusty Beard.
Yep, Dusty Beard was the one that passed. Was it Dusty Beard or?
I'm not sure.
It's Dusty Hill.
Hill.
Right?
Yeah, Dusty Hill.
Beard was he? It might have been Frank. I don't know why that comes to mind. I don't know.
Best ZZ Top song, LaGrange for me.
Yeah, that's an awful good one.
Sharp Dressed Man.
That's a good
Legs.
one. You can just
You're down the line.
You can name them, but yeah, LaGrange. I know that's Sullivan's favorite. It has been for years. All right, let's take a timeout. We'll come back, and we're going to look a little more in depth at football and maybe bring up some other stuff as well. Thanks for tuning in.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Al Lane Motorsports is now Power Max Motorsports. Yes, the name has changed, but the great products you've come to know and trust are still there. The new Power Max Motorsports will continue to carry the full line of Can-Ams and Toro mowers, and they will feature a full service and parts department. Drop by and meet the new folks today. They want to get to know you and your needs. The new Power Max Motorsports, Highway 27 East at the Highway 73 intersection in Lincoln. Drop by and see them today. Full Throttle Power Sports and Law is proud to announce the addition of Brian Lane to their sales staff. And Brian wants to take this time to invite his friends and former customers of Al Lane Motorsports in Lincoln to come see him at Full Throttle Power Sports and Law, featuring brand names like CF Moto, Yamaha, Honda, Suzuki, Kawasaki, Polaris, and more. See Brian Lane at Full Throttle Power Sports, 101 Indian Walk of I-85 in Law, online at ncfullthrottle.com.
For where two or three have gathered together in my name, I am there in their midst. Matthew 18:20. You are invited to gather with us at Rhine Heights United Methodist Church, located at 520 Madison Street, just up from Betty Ross Park. Sunday school meets at 10, and worship follows at 11 every Sunday. Follow us on Facebook for special service announcements. Join us Sunday at Rhine Heights United Methodist Church.
Triad Corrugated Metal in Lincoln is this area's headquarters for premium metal roofing and supplies. And now just arrived, square tubing for metal carports and metal buildings. Give them a call at 980-429-2278 for pricing and sizes. And they have a wide variety of colors. Visit the website at triadcorrugatedmetal.com. And like them on Facebook too, Triad Corrugated Metal, 108 Industrial Park Road in Lincoln.
Buying a Bobcat is now easier than ever at West End Sales in Vail. Now get 0% APR financing. That means low monthly payments. Or you can get $1,200 instant rebates on selected models. Now is the time to buy. Like we said, it's easier than ever. Again, get 0% APR financing or get $1,200 instant rebate on selected Bobcat models at West End Sales at the Highway 1827 West intersection in Vail. Online at westindsales.com and like them on Facebook too.
And welcome back to Sports Talk, fourth quarter. Here today, we're heading to the fourth quarter. I'm going to plug this computer up so it doesn't go blank on me. Thank you, Gene. He got us straightened out here. Dusty Hill's the one that passed away. Okay. He had a beard, and yes, he did. Frank Beard was the drummer. Frank Beard was the one without a beard. Mm-hmm. And now he says was the drummer. Does he not mean is?
Well, I guess if they're still
playing or whatever. But and God, I already forgot what you said, Mike. Billy
Gibbons.
Gibbons,
the third member.
Yep, as
the singer,
the one that does the singing, the lead singer. That is a, you know what, they found their niche and they were good at it, and that was a successful band for a long time. And I don't know anybody that you. That I've ever talked to it said I'm not really a fan of ZZ Top, but great music, great history,
kind of a Texas blues sound.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, I thought I had something here I needed to say from Lenny. Yes, Lenny says I saw last night that Nolan Hauser, the kicker at Huff, who is headed to Clemson, hit another long field goal last night. Last night's was 52 yards. And somebody has informed me, I didn't even know he was there today. I should have known he was there today. Jesus just left Chicago.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, is that a ZZ Top song, or is that?
I don't know.
Lenny says Jesus just left Chicago. I don't know if Jesus texted Lenny to tell him he was pulling out, or what kind of message he sent. Is he headed this way? Is he headed toward us this morning?
That's a ZZ Top song.
It probably is. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I figured it was. I figured it had to do with ZZ Top, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Going back to high school kickers, you mentioned the Huff kicker. Now, one time, the North Lincoln kicker, Jake Dillingham, had not missed an extra point, but I've kind of lost track the last couple games, and they've scored a lot of points. I just wonder.
And it has been weird numbers.
Yeah.
But that don't always, a lot of times they'll run that swinging gate thing and try to go for two and stuff.
But he was like, but he had nailed every extra point.
Yes, he had. Yeah.
And he wasn't even a kicker last year. He was
and
a soccer player.
Don't he look like he's about 6'2" or 6'3"?
I think so.
Very, very tall kid. Gets a lot of leverage, I would say.
Try to find out what his streak is, or if it's still intact.
Yeah, on those. Let's see what was I looking for here? We've been talking high school football. Is there anything? I always give you guys opportunity to this. Any game last night, and let's not go to the 106 to 108, whatever.
That's
that
such a
But is there any game
anomaly
that last night would have caught your attention, or maybe even if it's not a surprise winner?
Well, I was surprised that
Lenny says ZZ Top song.
I was surprised
Jesus probably not headed your way.
Maiden held Bandy's to 10 and shut them out in the second half.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's
because I saw Bandy's offense last week, and I thought that game was going to be in the 30s.
Yeah. And another.
I picked 35-30.
I heard Maiden had the ball for like the last 7 or 8 minutes, running the clock out, and Bandy's couldn't get a stop and get their offense back on the field.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's how you win a game.
Yeah.
The one time I saw Maiden, I didn't really think that much of their ground game, but maybe they really got it together and were able to.
Well, we don't. I'll be anxious to see a yardstick.
Yeah, I would too.
On that game, wouldn't take long to write up the scoring summary there, Mike. On that one, just 4 scores.
And I saw a little bit of highlights, and it looked like Maiden had problems holding on to the ball early. That might have helped Bandy's get that 10-0 lead. But Bandy's has a really good passing game. I was surprised that they only scored 10.
Yeah, that, as many points as they've been putting up, that says something about the Maiden defense.
Yeah.
Is what that does, because it's like you said, as many points as they've been putting up, and then to get held to 10 in a game like that, and I kept looking at the score, and it nothing for a long time.
Yeah.
And I thought, this can't be right. Somebody's scored and nobody's updated, but as it turns out, that was not the case. As it turns out, it was just a very, very low scoring, and for this day and time, that seems odd, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But just a low scoring contest last night between those two. Brad, a little bit on Lincoln. You did go to that game. Mike talked a little bit about Westwind. And we talked up here about Maiden and Bandy's. Lincoln's won their 3rd straight after starting 0-4. I know last night was definitely not something to measure it by, because West Caldwell's really had their struggles. But Andre Bost, another big night.
Yeah, he did. And West Caldwell's really I heard last night they have 15 sophomores on varsity, and it looked like they only had 20 couple players dressed.
Mm-hmm.
So not many juniors and seniors playing on that team, and no, they had decent size. They had some really big offensive linemen. They just made a lot of mistakes.
You said very young?
Yeah. And Lincoln just kind of did what they wanted in the first quarter. And I think it was 28-0 at the end of the first, and it was all but over at that point. Yeah, Boss had a big game, a couple running touchdowns, a couple passing touchdowns, one to Andrew Phelps, one to Nehemiah Lynch, and one to Khalil Yarborough. 3 different receivers caught touchdowns. And then Antonio Wilson ran an interception back for a touchdown. So a lot of different players scored for Lincoln. But, yeah, it's just one of those games you want to get out of there without getting any big injuries and start preparing for East Burke and what's going to be a tough stretch for Lincoln these final 3 games, I think.
Yeah.
But let's look at West Lincoln's schedule.
It's all going to be good. I mean, the last 3 weeks of the season are set up to be really strong. Go ahead, Mike.
I like West Lincoln's schedule. I mean, they got East Burke and West Caldwell, and then, of course, they close against Lincoln. That's going to be a big game. But, they should be able to handle these next 2. You never know. But I kind of like their situation for that runner-up spot.
What do you think, Brett? I'll let you. I'm looking for something here real quick.
I don't really know what to expect from East Burke. That Lincoln plays East Burke next week, and then West Lincoln plays them the week after. And
okay, what was the final last night from East Burke? Was it 28?
28-6.
Is that Bunker Hill's lowest output of the year?
Probably.
Well, no.
Well, what they score against West?
They only had 21 against West.
Yeah. That's right. 21. Yeah, just last week.
Yeah.
Listen to me.
And
it just seemed low for what we've been used to seeing.
I read East Burke got inside the 5 twice and didn't score. Got stopped on downs once and threw an interception once. But I read that East Burke was getting some of their key players back last night or this coming week. But then I also read that one of them got re-injured last night. The Fraley kid that is their fastest athlete. And from what I read on NC Preps, it sounds like he might just be done for the season now after last night. But that's just somebody sitting in the stands speculating. But
yeah, that something like that. I mean, that's just.
I think East Burke had
devastating
high hopes
and heartbreaking.
And they have some talent. And they gave Lincoln a really difficult game last year at East Burke. And like I said, I don't really know what to expect. I know they can run the ball.
Yeah,
they've got, I think, the leading rusher in the conference, unless the Bunker Hill Willis passed him last night, because I don't know what their numbers were, but they were number 1 and 2 in the conference in rushing.
Mike, any follow up on that? Don't leave me with dead air here. I'll tell you guys I'm hunting
nothing worse than dead air.
Well, I got something for you. You guys know my favorite mascot or nickname in high school in North Carolina.
What's that?
It's from the mountains, the mountain area of North Carolina.
The
Maroon
Devils.
The Owen
War
Horses.
Owen, I love that. Yeah.
Do you know how they got that name? There were 2 high schools in that area up until 1955, the Black Mountain Dark Horses and the Swannanoa Warriors. So when they merged and became one high school, they took part of both names and became the War Horses.
That's a cool story. I like that.
Got a comment here. Jesus probably headed to Notre Dame today.
Well, they're on the road. Maybe he can get a tour of
to see Touchdown Jesus.
Touchdown Jesus. That's
stadium.
Right.
Here's your last lyrics for this morning. Because I meant to give it when we came right back on. You might get these right off the bat, and if you don't, then it's probably going to be one of these things where you just don't get it at all. Okay? Well, show me the way to the next whiskey bar.
Yeah, I know that one.
Oh,
I know that one.
Don't ask why. Show me the way.
Should we tell it?
Not yet.
Okay.
Give the people a shot. Show me the way. It's my favorite song by this group.
That's hard to believe that's your favorite.
It's by far my favorite song.
Okay.
By this group.
That tells me you don't like them very much.
No, that's right. That's what that tells me. When you consider
I'm not
I'm
not the biggest fan. I'm not, but
I'm a huge fan.
But I usually don't. When it's on, I usually don't turn it. It's not like that at all. It's not like that at all. But this one, the funny thing is, the name of the song.
Yeah, if people don't just know the song,
That's
they're
right.
not going to know. They're not going to get the name of it. But
Lenny might know that. Show me, and Gene,
Because I was going to say, can I give my favorite song
Roger.
by that band? Because that might give away who the band
Oh,
is.
it would.
But it's still not going to tell who the. Well, you don't know. You don't know what my favorite song
to the
is.
next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. And then it says, oh, don't ask why again. If you're familiar with the song, I'm pretty sure it repeats it a couple times. But yes. The original band
I wonder how
stayed together until one died, but he died many years ago.
Yeah, in 1971.
The lead singer died in 71. There's you a hint for people
hint.
that don't know. Now, that hint came from Mike Powell, so he might have his numbers mixed up.
Was he 27?
He was 27, too. The curse of 27.
All right, guys, I'm looking at the 2A Max Preps poll. If you guys haven't looked, I'm going to let you guess. You haven't looked at it, have you, Brett? Don't pull it up. Who do you think's the number one team in North Carolina when it comes to 2As? And this is Max Prep's rankings, not ours.
Clinton.
Number two. A hint would be number one has a loss.
Reidsville.
Reidsville's number 8.
Well, Max Prep's rankings are no good because they are not the 8th best team.
Well, you know, a lot of it's based on resume, strength of schedule, things like that, record, of course. There is a 4-2 team ranked at number 6.
Burns.
Yes,
they're 4-2.
Wow.
Burns. Yeah, Burns lost to Crest and Kings Mountain.
Let's just do this while we got some time and discuss it. Monroe.
Oh, okay.
Monroe, the Red Hawks are your number one team. You mentioned Clinton; they're number 2 at 6-0. Monroe's 5-1. How about this? Same conference as Monroe, Forest Hills in at number 3 with a 5-1.
His only
record
loss was to Monroe.
To Monroe, yes. Then comes East Duplin from Beulahville. I didn't know exactly where they were in Duplin County, but Beulahville, 6-0, defending state champs. Number 5 is Salisbury. Number 6, Burns. Number 7, Northeastern. Number 8, Reidsville. Number 9, Bunker Hill. Rounding out the top 10 is Nash Central. 11.
Oh, they're 2A.
Yes, they are.
So that's who beat Northern Nash last night.
Nash last night.
Oh, a 2A beat a 3A.
Yeah, I didn't realize they were 2A.
Mm-hmm. The next 10, number 11, Shelby. Number 12, Randleman. Number 13, East Gaston. Number 14, West Lincoln. Number 15, Hertford County. Number 16, Brevard. 17, Community School of Davidson. 18, 18, Wallace Rose Hill. 19, Southwest Edgecombe. And number 20 to me comes as a surprise. Now, this hasn't been updated this week.
Mm-hmm.
So number 20 is a bit of a surprise for me because this team is 2-4 and got ranked number 20 in the state of North Carolina. In
That's Lincoln.
That's Lincoln.
Wow.
That all goes on strength of schedule.
Strength of schedule,
yeah.
And so last night,
that's not going to help them.
No, they beat a team that's winless.
Yeah.
It'll be 3-4, but they probably stay at about the same spot.
Yeah, they're not going to move up.
Just a few more to mention. This was before last night. Okay, before last night, Bandy's in at 23 and Maiden in at number 24. James Keenan in at number 25 in that statewide 2A.
Yeah, see, the Maiden being below Lincoln surprises me because I know Lincoln played a tougher non-conference schedule, but Maiden
just
what
played
was their
Watauga.
record? They were 4-2 before last night, and Lincoln was 2-4.
Mm-hmm.
In the top 25, I think I have found 13 undefeated 3A teams.
Yeah.
In the top 25. You talking about a playoff
it's going to be
gauntlet. I mean, it is going to be something else when these go. Number 1 lost last night. Number 1 in the state lost last night.
Northern Nash?
Number 1 in the state lost last night to a 4A.
Oh, West Charlotte.
West Charlotte was defeated by Huff last night. I don't think they dropped much for that, but
no, that might improve their number.
The top 6 are 6-0. The top 6, this is last week's, are 6-0. Crest is number 2. Fayetteville 71st is 3rd. Kings Mountain 4th. Northern Nash 5th. Greensboro Dudley at 6th. These are all undefeateds. I'll tell you when we're just a couple away. Jacksonville is 5-0. They're number 7. Hickory 6-0. They're number 8, and they're undefeated. Southern Alamance is number 9 at 6-1. Eastern Guilford is number 10. They round out the top 10. They are 5-1. Now with your next group, number 11, Eastern Alamance, 5-1. Number 12, Oak Grove, 5-1. Number 13, think about this team, how we've talked about them all year. West Henderson is 13th.
Yeah.
We haven't even said Northwest Cabarrus yet. I would not want to be in these playoffs. West Henderson is 7-0. They're 13th. Northwest Cabarrus is 6-0. They're 14th. And they may have the best defense in 3A. Number 15 is Southern Nash at 5-1. Number 16, Havelock at 5-1. Concord Robinson, 17th.
Yeah.
6-0.
I saw some of their highlights last night.
Scotland County, 18th. 7-0.
Now you're looking at before last night's game, obviously.
It's not going to change much, Mike, if you're trying to make a point there. It's not going to change much. So what were you disagreeing with? There had to be something you were disagreeing with.
No, I was just looking at 6-0, and I realized.
I think these are updated on Mondays.
I would guess maybe 2 of those teams lost last night. We know Northern Nash did.
Yeah. Yep, we know Northern
I don't
Nash
know
did.
about, I don't remember you saying
Thomasville Ledford is 23rd, and they're undefeated. 23rd, and they're undefeated.
Wow. Where does East Lincoln stack up?
I'm going to the next 25 to see.
All right.
How about South Point on page 2? They're at number 28. They are 3-3. Statesville is number 29, 4-2. Hunter Huss at number 31, 3-3. East Lincoln at number 32, 4-2. North Lincoln at number 33, back to back. Are these two? North Lincoln's 3-3. They've really turned things around the last couple of weeks. They're playing really good football.
They're 4-3.
Are they
4-3
Yeah,
now.
4-3 after last night. Yeah, just like East Lincoln as well, right? Yeah. No, East Lincoln's 5-2.
5-2.
Hunter Huss improves to 4-3 after last night's win. States was 4-2 still, and they're behind in a game that will be resumed on Monday. South Point is 3-4. When's the last time you saw South Point 3-4 at this point or at any point of the season? But when's the last time you saw them 3-4? I don't remember it.
Well, the only one that really surprises me is the Hunter Huss game. I'm not surprised they lost to Crest, Kings Mountain, and Charlotte Christian.
Yeah,
but Hunter Huss has improved.
Yeah, and it went to overtime, and I think they had a lead in the game, didn't they? And I don't know. I know Hunter Huss was coming off a 3-game losing streak when they beat South Point, so that just don't happen a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm like Brett. That game surprised me. I'm not surprised that obviously they lost to Crest and Kings Mountain.
Yeah.
Who does South Point have left? I know they to try to get in the playoffs.
I would guess Kramer. Maybe it's their last game.
Yeah. They played.
Have they played North Gaston? Ashbrook. I don't know.
They beat Kramer 48-0.
Oh, okay.
They beat Kramer 48-0. That's when it all started going downhill. They lost to Huss 31-24 in overtime. Lost to Crest 61-49. It's a game that they led most of the way, but fell behind in the fourth quarter.
So they're 1-3.
And then last night, 28-14 to Kings Mountain. They win the final 3: Ashbrook, Forest View, and North Gaston.
Yeah,
so
they will.
Most likely puts them in the playoffs. Butch wants to know how many of us are going to breakfast. 1,
2.
I'm going to tell him 3 from here because I know Brett is headed southward. I was going to look up something else real quick, but I think that I'm running out of time. Let's just see here.
Did you ever give that that's?
No, go ahead.
Okay. The Doors.
Go ahead.
Can you name
the Doors? Lenny
can you
said
name
the
the
Doors.
song?
Lenny said the Doors, but I can't think of the song. So he knew it was the Doors.
Yeah, the song is harder. The title of the song.
Oh yeah, because it don't have anything to do with the
whiskey
whiskey bar.
Nothing to do with the whiskey bar.
Unless there's one down there in Alabama.
Yep, Alabama's
It
song.
doesn't say Alabama in the song, but it doesn't.
Yeah, Alabama Song is the name of that song, Lenny. I heard it yesterday morning.
It's off their first album.
On my
The
way,
Doors.
on my way to school last week. Okay, you guys want to help me here with let's see if I can get these.
And by the way, Roadhouse Blues is my favorite.
Okay.
Doors.
My
song.
favorite Doors album is Strange Days, which
Indeed.
Yeah.
Who was Strange Days Indeed? That was
I don't know.
John Lennon.
Yeah.
What song was that from? Strange Days Indeed.
Yeah, that's right. It
You know?
was a lyric from the John Lennon song.
Yeah. I remembered who it was, but I'll never be able to remember this.
Nobody told me.
I think it is. I think it is.
Nobody told me there'd be days like these.
Yeah.
Strange days indeed.
Yep. I was trying to look here real quick to see what some of the game. What's some of the top games next week on the schedule for us. Of course, I'm guessing East Lincoln plays St. Stephen's because North Lincoln plays Ford, and that's just switching off there.
Well, there's got to be
West
at least
Lincoln, West Caldwell.
There's got to be at least one good matchup in the South Fork. Who's Maiden play?
We know he just said West Lincoln's at West Caldwell. We know East Burke's at Lincoln.
Bandy's and Newton.
Bandy's and Newton is next week, and Maiden and Bunker Hill.
Maiden and Bunker Hill.
Maiden and Bunker Hill.
It's a good matchup.
You know? Bunker Hill's lost 2 games now in 2 years. Both were to Maiden.
Yep.
Both were to Maiden.
And hadn't it been?
Can they get over that hump or not?
Hadn't it been like 30 years since Bunker Hill beat?
I don't know.
Maiden.
I don't know.
Where is that game?
I think it's here.
Yeah.
I think that game is in Maiden, but I'm not 100% sure.
At Bunker
Is
Hill.
it at Bunker?
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's my next choice.
Well, we have East Burke at Lincoln, and it could be an interesting game.
Oh, man. Yes, it could.
See if the Wolves
it
can
could.
continue their little run here.
We're about out of time. We appreciate you tuning in to Sports Talk this morning. It's been fun, and I love to do this part. I hope we don't cut off before I get these
Oh, here's
said.
a good question.
But Butch, Lenny, Ned, Gene Strunch, Jason Barber, Monty Mosteller, Roger Cranford all weighing in this morning. You had a couple on Facebook there, Link Polly and
Don Revels.
Don Revels on
Link Polly, Marco Arias watching, Jeff Taylor.
We love the interaction and love that you guys
here's one
are
for
loyal
you.
and listen
Can you
in.
name the Rolling Stones' new album, the title?
Something to do with hail? It seemed like I heard the name of it, but
Something Diamonds.
well, you better do it. Hellacious Diamonds.
There you go. No, I don't know. I just know part of the title.
Oh, there he goes asking the question again. He don't know. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week on Sports Talk.